Matthias, thanks very much for joining us. So Warburg HIH, in terms of the investment strategy, we've been talking to a lot of investors where they've been gradually changing strategy. What's the position with you? Have you altered or changed your investment strategy over the past 6 to 12 months?
Yes, we have not constantly changed the strategy, but we have adjusted the strategy. We're investing predominantly on behalf of German pension funds. So that means we're a core investor, and German pension funds are probably the most core or risk-averse investors in the European universe. For that reason, generally we're a pan-European investor, but we feel that Europe has changed over the last couple of years, and we have a focused strategy. That means in Europe we are focusing at the moment predominantly on 3 countries, which is Austria, especially the office market in Vienna. That's for defensive reasons, because we think that our experience in the Viennese office market is that's the market with little or very less volatility in terms of rent and pricing, and we feel for our investors that is a great preparation for a downturn, whenever the downturn comes, but it's a great preparation in terms of setback. The other ones, which are more like cash-on-cash return but also IRR-driven, we like Amsterdam, where we also open up an office. The Amsterdam office market is next to Berlin, offering the growth, tremendous growth on office rents. And for that reason, we feel, given the current price levels throughout Europe, that by way of increased possibilities of rents, that there is growth there, and we feel that there's a good grounds to invest there as well.
And in terms of the current focus that you mentioned on a smaller number of markets, but how much is politics playing into that in terms of political risk?
Clearly, politics does play a role in the investment committee, in the discussion with the investors, because you make an investment decision now, but it's like for the next 10 years' time. So you want to see how political situations involve in countries. But that being said, there will be countries which were probably more controversial in the past. But if you look for yields, you look in countries which, there had been political discussions around. So we invest over the last couple of years close to 400 million in Poland, and we have the first time ever a deal under offer in Budapest. So offering, besides macroeconomic framework, which is interesting, but also some premium on the yield.
And in terms of sector, are you sector agnostic, or do you focus on specific sectors?
Yes, we do have focus there as well. Our DNA is clearly offices, but over the years we have built up a great retail team. So offices and retail are 2 asset classes we're focusing on. However, there's an increasing investors' appetite for hotels, for the nation or for the nature of a long-term cash flow. And also that if you look at tourist numbers, tourist growth is outpacing GDP growth in most of the countries in Europe. So we think also if you're cash flow driven and predictive driven, then this is a very interesting asset class we'll look at, and we're investing at that. Over the years we have piled up some interesting investments in this as well. And clearly logistics, and these days you cannot avoid for the reason of e-tailing, and everyone is increasingly ordering goods via the internet, and for that reason obviously we think that's a defensive strategy as well to invest in logistics.
Great. Very interesting. That reflects a number of the discussion that we've been having at MIPIM as well, but interesting to see that move to Budapest. So thank you for sharing that with us today. Thank you.
Thank you for the interview.